continuation of the previous session, we are looking into the next problem. Test the validity of the statement. If the music party could not play music or the refreshments were not delivered on time, then the New Year's party would have been cancelled and the organizer Ramu would have been angry. So these are the conjunctions which we need to These are the conjunctions which we need to remember. You have an or here, you have an and here, and then you have a then here. Okay, and the organizer Ramu would have been angry. If the party were cancelled, the refunds would have to be made. So if the party, so this is the next thing, no refunds were made. Therefore, the music party could not play music. So this word therefore gives us this last line as your conclusion. So now how do we symbolize this? This could be symbolized as our P colon. What would be P colon? The music party could not play music. So you should not take the not. So you should say the music party could play music. So you will have the music party could play music. So this is your first statement. The refreshments were not delivered on time. So you can take Q colon as no negation should not be there, negative statement should not be there. So refreshments were delivered on time. So you will have refreshments were delivered on time. So refreshments were delivered on time. Then the New Year's party would have been cancelled. So the next one would be New Year's party would have been cancelled. So New Year's party would have been cancelled. Then what is the next one? The organizer Ramu would have been angry. So S colon Ramu was angry. So Ramu was angry. So this was your S colon. Next, look at R now. New Year's party would have been cancelled. So would have been cancelled. Would you write would have been cancelled is not a declarative sentence. So what you should write? You should write the New Year's party was cancelled. You should not write would have been. You should have written the New Year's party was cancelled. Only then it is a declarative sentence. Only then you can take it as a premise. Then, what is the last one? Refunds have to be made. So you will have P colon. Refunds have to be made. So this is your last statement. Refunds have to be made. Then what else can you do? So now you have got P, Q, R, S and T. Therefore, music party could not play music. So you can use P again. So this much is enough. P, Q, R, S and T. This is all is required. So what are your given premises? If the music party could not play music, negation P, or refreshments were not delivered on time, negation Q, and negation and disjunction have precedence. reference over conditional. So we will start writing the premises. So what will happen to the premises? What will you have? The premises given, if you write the premises given, you will have negation P, which states if the music party could not play music or refreshments were not delivered. So refreshments were not delivered on time is negation Q. Then you have if then. So if, what is the then portion? The New Year's party would have been cancelled. So how to write the New Year's party was cancelled? The New Year's party was cancelled and Ramu will be angry. So New Year's party was cancelled is R and Ramu will be angry is S. So you will have R and S. So your very first statement is this. Then what is the next line state? The next line states if the party was cancelled, refunds would have to be made. So if the party was cancelled, then refunds would have to be made. So if R, then P. Then what is the next one? No refunds were made. So no refund was made is nothing but it is negation P. Then what is the next thing? We have to show therefore the music party could not play music. It could not play music. So it could not play music means we have to show negation P. Isn't it? If it could not play music, you have to show the conclusion as negation. So this is my conclusion. So how to get this conclusion? Let us see what we can do in order to get this conclusion. Okay. So what will happen? We have to check the conclusion. I want to change the conclusion. The music party could play music. Okay. Let us change the conclusion to P. We are not going to have it as negation P. I wanted to have it as P and not as negation P. This question I have taken from the textbook which needs a little correction, I believe. Let us now verify whether it is needed or not. So let us start. You will have steps or step number. After you have your step number, you will have statement. And then you will have the reason for this statement. Okay. The first step, we need P in the conclusion, so we should eliminate our R and T. We have if R then T and negation T. You can use modest tolerance. So we will start with the first step. Let me introduce if R then T. Since I am introducing, I have to use rule P then. Let me introduce my second premise. What is this? Negation T. Again, I am using rule P. Then let me use 1 and 2. I will get negation R. I am using rule T. I am using rule T on the first and the second premises. And then I am using the rule modus tollens. I am using modus tollens. So now check. We have ended with negation R. Now what can we do with this negation R? Let us go for the first term and see if we can do anything with this negation R. We can't do anything. I need an R and S. So what I do is I add and S. So what I do is I go for addition rule. So this is giving me negation R or negation S. What did I do? I am applying rule T. I am applying rule T to the fourth step and I am using the rule addition. P implies P or Q. That is the rule. Okay. I am using the rule negation. Once I use the rule addition, I have negation R or S. The minute we see this negation R or negation S, we will strike De Morgan's. So this is nothing but negation of R and S. What rule are we using? We are using rule T. Where are we using this rule T? On 4, and we are applying De Morgan's laws. Okay? We are applying De Morgan's law. Now in the previous case, we have not used 4, rather I have used 4. Now we have got negation of R and S. Now let us introduce the F-log premise, which is the first premise. Let us introduce the premise. So in step 6, we are going to introduce this premise. What premise are we going to introduce in step 6? The first premise that is there, that is negation P or negation Q. Then what do we have? R and S. R and so what rule we are applying? The rule we are applying is rule P. Now what I have to do is I am going to apply 5 and 6, or rather I can even I will apply 5 and 6 to get using modus tollens. Let me apply 5 and 6. Then I will have negation of the first term, that is negation P or negation Q. What have I done? I have applied rule T on 5 and 6. The rule is nothing but modus tollens. The rule is modus tollens. Okay, so this is the rule. Then, what will I get with this? Again, apply by De Morgan's law. This will give me P and Q. Applying De Morgan's law, that is, I am applying rule T. Where am I applying rule T? On 7, and I have used De Morgan's laws. Okay? I have used De Morgan's. So having got P and Q, I can simplify this. When I simplify this, I will get P. So I'm going to apply rule P on 8, and the rule is nothing but simplification. So it is simplification. Okay, so we have arrived at our conclusion, which is nothing but P. Let us now go through the problem once right from the start. So look at this. If the music party could not play music or the refreshments were not delivered on time, then the New Year's party would have been cancelled and the organizer Ramu would have been angry. If the party were cancelled, the refunds would have to be made. No refunds were made. Therefore, the music party could play music. Okay? I think it is not could not play, and it is just could play music. So now, if we start P colon, the music party could play music. Q colon, refreshments were delivered on time. Then R colon, New Year's party was cancelled. S colon, Ramu was angry. T colon, refunds have to be made. So these were the premises that you were getting in all these cases. Now you have P, Q, R, S and T. Let us now symbolically represent the given statement. So symbolically representing, we had negation P or negation Q, then R and S, comma, if R then T, comma, negation P, comma, I have changed the conclusion to P. Now let us go stepwise. We need P, we have to get rid of R and T. have the second and the third one, you have if or then P, negation P. So apply modest tolerance, you will get negation R. So you have got rid of P. Now what you need is S also is there with R in the first premise. Therefore, you use the rule of addition, P implies P or Q, to get negation R or negation S from negation R. Apply De Morgan's law to this fourth step. This will give you negation of R and S. Now introduce the last premise, negation P or negation Q, then R and S. Now we already have R and S on hand in step 5. Therefore apply modest tolerance to 5 and 6. You will get negation of negation P or negation Q. Apply De Morgan's law to step 7. When you apply De Morgan's law, we have negation of negation P or negation Q is equivalent to P and Q. Now what we require? We require the conclusion to be just P. So apply your simplification rule which states P and Q implies P or P and Q implies Q. So P and Q implies P will give us P from step 8. Therefore, we have arrived at the required conclusion. Right? Okay. We'll go for one more small problem and check if we are able to solve the problem. Okay. So let us go for a new screen. Show that R and P or Q is a valid conclusion. I have to show that R and I will have P or Q is a valid conclusion R and P or Q is a valid conclusion from what are all the premises given to us? P or Q, comma, Q then R, comma, P then M, and negation M, and the negation M. So this is what is given to us. Let us see if we can arrive at R and P or Q. So let us start. What will we have? We will have step number. After having step number, what will we have? We will have statement. Okay. Then what else we have? We will have reason. Okay. So we have a step number, we have a statement, we have reason. So where to start? We actually need R and P or Q. Looking at all what is given, we have P or Q, if Q then R, and all that we have. We have if P then M. So look at this and this. We can do something with this modest tolerance. So let us apply. We will take number 1. If P then M. I am only introducing a premise. So I will be using rule P. Then I have negation M. Again I am introducing a premise. So I will have again rule P. Now I have to apply a tautological implication using these two, that is modest tolerance, which will give me negation P. I am going to use rule P on what am I going to use? On 1 and 2, and the rule name is modest tolerance. Okay, so we have ended with negation P. Next, let us take the unused one, that is P or Q. So let me introduce P or Q. So I am only introducing. So I will be using only the rule P, then from P or Q and negation P. See this and this. Let me use disjunctive syllogism. Okay, so I'm going to use something new. So in step 5, I will get Q. What did I do? I applied rule T. I applied rule T to 3 and 4, and I use the rule disjunctive syllogism. Okay, disjunctive syllogism. Okay, so this is the rule that I have used. Now what can I do after this? I have got a Q, but where should I terminate? My idea is not getting Q. I need something much bigger in my final conclusion. So what I do is I introduce the next premise if Q then R. So let us introduce if Q then R. See, we have used this, we have used everything, we have not used if Q then R. So let us introduce if Q then R. You are only introducing, so what you have will be rule P. Now come down. You have Q and if Q then R. You can apply mod exponents. You will get R. I am using rule T. To which step? I am using it to step 5 and step 6. I am using mod exponents. Okay, so I end up with R. Now in the last step, 8th step, I have an R. I also have a P or Q in step 4. Come here, see, I have a P or Q in step 4 and I have an R over here. I can take these two and make a conjunction. So I will have R and P or Q. I am using rule T. What rule? Conjunction. On what am I going to use? On the step 4 and on the step 7, I am going to use the rule conjunction. So what can I say? Therefore, C is a valid conclusion. Therefore, C is a valid. So this is what you have to show in this. I think this is a pretty nice problem where you have learned 2 rules. One is disjunctive syllogism, the other one is conjunction. Okay, so this we have not used earlier. Then we can go for one more small problem based on this. Where we can use mod exponents, we can use contrapositive as well as chain rule. Show that R and S can be derived. Show that R and S can be derived from the premises if P then Q, comma, if Q then negation R, comma, R, comma, P or R and S. So how to show this? Let us now start. We have step number, last problem. With this we are winding. It will take only 2 minutes. So you will have step number. Then you will have statement. then you have the corresponding reason for the statement. Okay. So starting, let us first introduce our first premise. You see, you have if P then Q, you have if Q then R, so you can use chain rule. So let us introduce if P then Q, you will get rule P, then again you will introduce if Q, then negation R. Subhashri ma'am, recording. Recording. If Q, then negation R. Again, this is again rule P. Use 1 and 2. You will get if P, then negation R, which is we are going to apply rule T, that is chain rule. We are going to apply chain rule. Where we are going to apply chain rule? We are going to apply chain rule on 1 and 2. So we have got if P, the negation R. You also have an R. So what can we do with this R? We will introduce this, or we may rewrite this. If P, the negation R, write the contrapositive of it. You will have if R, then negation P. This is nothing but your rule T on 3, and the rule name is contrapositive. Okay, it is contrapositive. Then what else can we do? We have if R, then negation P. We have a left out R here. Let us introduce that R. So what happens in step 5? Please introduce your R. You are only introducing, therefore you are using rule P. Then in step 6, you can use the previous step 4 and 5. You will get negation P. I am applying rule T. I am applying rule T. Where am I applying? On 4 and 5. What rule I have applied? Modus ponens. Okay. What rule we have applied? Modus ponens. So we have got negation P. Then introduce the last premise. What is the last premise that we are left with? Check our question. P or R and S. This is where we are left with. So introduce that premise. P or R and S. Okay. Now we are only introducing. So we will use rule P. Now check what we can do. We may rewrite this using equivalence rule as negation P, then R and S. We are rewriting the previous step. So it is rule T of 7 equivalence. Okay, so this is equivalence. Then come to the next one. What is the last one? We have a negation P. We have negation P then R and S, and this will end up with R and S. We are going to apply modus ponens. We are going to apply rule T on what are the steps we need? We need 6 and 8. So we apply rule T on 6 and 8. That is, we have modus ponens. Okay, and therefore what have we got? We have got R and S. What we need to show? Look, we need to show R and S only, and so we have reached our conclusion here as R and S confusion. I think we have seen enough examples both using word problems as well as direct problems. So next class we will be moving into something called as